You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Friday night football this season with an additional security twist will tell you what the new police want to do in Sarasota County.
And starting today, the backpack program will make sure kids have enough food for the weekend. We're going to explain how it works in a live report this morning.
And there are three phone scams this morning, 2 in Sarasota and 1 in Hardee County, just east of the Suncoast. What you need to know next on Good Morning Suncoast. Welcome to Friday, August 17th. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for joining us on this day before the weekend morning. That's what I got today.
You seem excited.
I'm very excited for this weekend. Almost excited as I am about the weekend forecast from John Scalzi.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for us today. We'll have, generally speaking, quiet conditions for your morning commute. It's a little bit muggier, perhaps, and you may have to run the windshield wipers just because of condensation, but not because of rainfall. We'll be dry through the morning commute. All roadway surfaces should remain fairly dry, though the condensation could cause a little bit of a slippery surface in places, so watch for that. Local temperatures running about where they were yesterday, maybe a degree or 2 warmer, 76 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca City. Along the coastline, just a little bit warmer, coming in closer to the 80-degree mark. Not much in the way of a rainfall for the morning hours, but by afternoon we'll have some spotty inland showers, sometimes producing 1-inch rainfalls or better along the interstate corridor. Our forecast calls for about a 30% chance of rain showers today, but over the course of the weekend, there will be changes. We'll also take a look in about 5 minutes at some of the red tide reports from around the area. Back to you.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you, John. Let's check a live shot right now of the Manatee County School Board. That's a live picture in downtown Bradenton. Our reporter Marla Spence is there to talk about a weekend backpack program where some needy kids are given food to fill the backpack for the weekend so they don't go hungry. They come back to school on Monday ready to learn again. Details of that at 6:30. Right now, let's swipe to our maps. Here's the scene in Manatee County. Some buildup there on 70 eastbound, 301 southbound. Otherwise, nothing major so far. Checking farther south, here's the scene in northern Sarasota County. Nothing in the red right now. A little blip there on Bee Ridge, eastbound as you leave 41. And then checking our final map to the south. And look at that, 681, the connector between 41 and 75 has delays right now in both directions.
Well, back to school means Friday night lights, but before the first football game, the new Sarasota County School District police force wants to make sure it is safe for the season for both players and fans. The officer in charge of game day plans is Officer Mike Halpin. Now, he has experience creating security plans for presidents, national parades, even the Pope, all during his time with the NYPD. He's spent hours creating what are called operation plans for all the football games to make sure that everything runs smoothly.
We'll have various assignments throughout the game, from roaming patrol to stationary posts to crowd control to making sure the players and referees get on and off the field safely.
And just a heads up, if you are planning on going to the games this season, they are encouraging fans not to bring bags or backpacks to the games this season.
Sarasota police reporting 2 different phone scams happening right now in the city. The first one, a caller may claim to be a member of the police department, ask for donations. Not the case. Second one involves a caller who says they're a police lieutenant. And they say that you've got a warrant for your arrest. If you don't pay, you'll be in trouble. SPD says they never ask for money over the phone or request personal financial information. Florida will begin reimbursing SunPass drivers today who were charged a bank fee after a major accounting malfunction earlier this year. Millions of toll transactions statewide got delayed as a result of a billing system upgrade. Some customers were even charged bank fees when they were finally processed. Well, FDOT says starting today, customers can start to ask for reimbursement for any penalties incurred.
The first day of deliberations has come and gone in the trial of Paul Manafort, and the jury has still not reached a verdict. Now, they asked the judge to redefine reasonable doubt, which is, of course, the legal threshold for acquitting a defendant. Now, the judge said that jurors have to prove doubt based on a reason. Now, they also had a few other questions related to Manafort's actual charges. The former Trump campaign manager is facing 18 counts of tax evasion, bank fraud, and hiding foreign bank accounts. Deliberations are expected to start back up again this morning.
Plans for President Trump's annual military parade in the nation's capital on Veterans Day won't be happening this year. As reporter John Lawrence tells us, the price tag is more than some want to pay.
President Trump's military parade is put on pause. Last year, Mr. Trump was wowed by the Bastille Day celebration in France.
It was one of the greatest parades I've ever seen. It was 2 hours on the button, and it was military might.
And it was something he wanted to do in the U.S., saying it would be great for the spirit of the country.
To a large extent, because of what I witnessed, we may do something like that.
The event, targeted for November 10th, was to focus on the contributions of our veterans throughout the history of the U.S. military.
I think any opportunity that we have to celebrate the men and women of the armed forces of the United States is a great day.
Others felt the event would have spotlighted the president and not the military.
It's really about feeding his ego and his love of pomp and circumstance and being honored. The other thing that bothers me about it is that it's just antithetical to American military culture.
I'm not looking for a Soviet-style hardware display.
He wants this big military parade, which is a huge waste of money.
An administration source says the parade might cost $92 million, but some say that estimate is inflated.
Whoever told you that is probably smoking something that's legal in my state, but not in most states, okay?
The last time the U.S. had a military parade was in 1991 under President George H.W. Bush. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Now, the American Legion responded saying it appreciates that our president wants to show in a dramatic fashion our nation's support for our troops, but they feel the money could be better spent in ways like giving troops the best care possible. For the latest on this story and breaking news and the forecast, go to our new app. It's under My Suncoast or WWSB.
Well, the red tide outbreak is far from over here on the Suncoast, and people who live near Sarasota Bay are now looking to Manatee County for help cleaning up all those dead fish. Now, these photos were sent to us by a viewer who lives at the northern end of Sarasota Bay near Long Bar Point, where winds have pushed piles of dead fish all up along the shoreline. He says the neighborhood wants the county to put as much effort into cleaning up the dead fish from inland waters as it does on the Gulf beaches. Manatee County has provided them with a list of fishermen who will clean up the dead fish, but all for a price.
An update now on the Lido Key pool and concession stand that was closed earlier this week due to the smells from red tide. The city says Lido Pool and the pavilion will remain closed through the weekend until early next week. They'll reassess then. The pool closed last Tuesday due to the bad smell and poor air quality in the area.
And of course, for all of our latest in the coverage on the red tide outbreak and to get answers to some of your most asked questions, just head online to mysuncoast.com.
Looking ahead to the weekend, Ed Smith Stadium will host Paws in the Park tomorrow morning for dog lovers. From 9 to 1, fans can come by and watch the game. It's a minor league game with their four-legged friends. There'll be a doggy costume contest and pictures and a free photo booth. Also, bring a donation of an unopened pet food to benefit the Humane Society of Sarasota. Could be a lot of fun. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
Even NASA is honoring the Queen of Soul all the way from outer space. We'll show you just what they're doing when we come back. But first,
it is 6:07 on your Friday morning. There's a beautiful shot there of the U.S. Capitol, Indian up top, facing east back toward Europe. Quite a story there. Let's get the forecast now from John Scalzi.
So it looks good for us today. School bus forecast calls for dry conditions as you head the kids off to the bus stop. 77 degrees our temperature with mostly dry conditions throughout the morning hours. By afternoon, an isolated shower or two possible if you're headed to the beach. Expect a temperature of about 88, 87 degrees and a UV index of about 11. As far as the red tide goes, latest spotter reports show intense amounts of irritant in the air at Holmes Beach, Siesta Key, and Gasparilla. That's a little bit of a worse condition than we had 24 hours ago. That'll be updated by 10 a.m. and we'll have that report for you on the noon show. Your complete forecast in a second.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Until recently, getting older meant losing your energy, memory, sex drive, even gaining weight, but it doesn't have to.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jenny Wilkins, owner of Age Vital Pharmacy Research and Wellness. Reversing or slowing the effects of aging can be as simple as supplementing vitamins, minerals, and hormones that your body needs in order to look and feel young again. At Age Vital, we do this without taking harmful prescription drugs that often have a longer list of side effects than benefits. Growing older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Age well, age vital.
Get more for your money during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG, and Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels right. It feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-871-1644. 800-871-1644.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76-degree air temperature, dew point coming in at 74. The closeness of temperature and dew point give us a high relative humidity at 94%. We also have a feels like temperature that is exactly the same as the air temperature. But that'll change as we head into the afternoon and temperatures start to rise. We'll get a feels like temperature closer to 100. Not much of a rain chance this morning, but as we head into the afternoon, a rain chance comes up to about 30% near the coastline and lingers into the evening. Now, inland, the rain chance is going to be a little bit higher. We had some big thunderstorms around UTC yesterday, and I think we'll probably have along that 75 corridor the same kind of heavy rainfall possible. You could have a 50 to 60% chance of rainfall inland. Along the coastline, as I mentioned, closer to about 30%. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us right straight through the weekend. Noses in across the peninsula. There's a little trough of low pressure that'll produce a weakness on the other coast in that high pressure ridge, and you may see a few thunderstorms develop along the east coast over the course of today and tomorrow that weren't around over the last several days, but I don't think it'll have much impact on our weather. A general southeasterly wind flow will continue to collide with our sea breeze front, and the two of them together will produce those showers that will build in inland areas, and probably most of the showers drift off toward the north or off to the northwest. If there's enough westerly bend to those storms and enough outflow, we could get a thunderstorm develop along the coastline as well, but most of the activity will be in inland areas. So the east wind, that continues to the next several days and hopefully forces some of that red tide toxin in the air and irritant to be pushed further out into Gulf waters. We'll see. Drift forecasts for the red tide do keep it kind of close to shore, though. Even fewer weekend storms around, though. Some drier air located just to the east of us begins to filter in. That'll be for Saturday. Sunday, the rain chances go back up again. And the west wind that we have had for a good percentage of the time this summer will return on Tuesday as we develop another high pressure ridge that kind of sinks or rises a little bit further to the north of us. Futurecast shows a lot of cloud cover across the region today in the afternoon and some showers building along that sea breeze front by around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Those showers become more numerous as we head into the evening, and they generally will affect mostly inland areas, but along the coastline we could see some of the outflow create a shower there as well. So we'll put in a slight chance near the coast. Drier air filters in, reducing rain chances tomorrow. That drier air on this map indicated by the blue colors. You can see that kind of moving into the area. But just as soon as it arrives, the humid air kind of returns from the south and brings us better rain chances on Sunday. So it's a one-day kind of thing where the best chance of not seeing any rainfall is going to be on Saturday, followed by Sunday when the rain chances spike back up again. Foreboding today, generally a southeasterly wind flow will be continuing right straight through the weekend, so you can count on that. With a little bit of a sea breeze developing each and every afternoon, coming in at about 10 knots, you'll have 2-foot seas and a light chop on your bay and inland waters. Look for about 91 as a daytime high today. 30% chance of rainfall tomorrow. We'll reduce that rainfall chance a little bit. 92. I think a lot of people on Saturday will see no rain whatsoever. And then as we get to Sunday, rain chances go back up as that moisture returns. Over the course of the next couple of days of the beginning of next work week, we'll watch those rain chances stay high and temperatures stay warm up around the 90 mark. And we'll watch a wind shift start to take place on Tuesday. That'll carry us through the remainder of the work week, where our rain chances stay about the same, but the pattern of the rain changes with coastal showers in the morning followed by inland showers in the afternoon. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look outside and check out on that morning commute. Starting off in Manatee County, those roads are running pretty smooth out there. Not too bad. You can see right there, State Road 70 has got a little bit of a delay going on. Some traffic backed up in that area. But other than that, Manatee County is looking pretty good at this hour. The top half of Sarasota County looking good again. Even Fruitville and University Parkway, normally busy around this time, all running pretty smooth. And if you're headed south, 75 and 41, both looking pretty good at this hour as well. 6:16, that's your first alert traffic. Well, it is Friday. Both John Scalzi and I have plans to barricade ourselves in movie theaters this weekend. On tap, some crazy rich Asians, an oversized shark, and don't call him Marky Mark Wahlberg anymore.
Meantime, tributes are pouring in for the Queen of Soul. ABC's Jason Nathanson has the latest from Hollywood.
Tributes continue to pour in for Aretha Franklin. Jennifer Hudson posted a video on Instagram of Franklin singing Let It Be, writing Franklin taught her so much about life and she'll never forget those teachings. And at Franklin's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Her legacy is written in my heart.
Hudson, by the way, is supposed to play Franklin in an upcoming movie about the iconic singer. At the box office this weekend could be a cash infusion for Crazy Rich Asians. The romantic comedy set in Singapore could open in the top spot with maybe $25 million bucks Friday through Sunday. A total of $35 million since it actually hit theaters on Wednesday. Mark Wahlberg's military thriller Mile 22 looks to open in third behind The Meg with about $15 million. And the Ice Age adventure story Alpha about a boy and a wolf won't be anywhere near the top of the pack with under $10 million. It's official, the guy behind Blackish is leaving ABC. Kenya Barris has signed a deal for new shows at Netflix, which recently also grabbed Scandal creator Shonda Rhimes and American Horror Story creator Ryan Murphy. Barris's deal is for 3 years. And a big birthday Friday for Robert De Niro, the Oscar-winning actor turning 75. And another leading man, Sean Penn, he turns 58. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And staying in Hollywood, the highest paid actresses, drumroll please, Scarlett Johansson. That's right, Forbes magazine estimates that the Avengers Infinity War star made $40.5 million between last June and this June. You go, girl. That easily beat out runner-up Angelina Jolie, who made $28 million. Third place, Jennifer Aniston, who made almost $19.5 million, but not through movies. Hers was made more through all those endorsement deals she has.
And as an out-of-this-world tribute to Aretha Franklin, NASA is naming an asteroid after the Queen of Soul. It's one that keeps orbiting around Mars. Nice way to go.
Yeah, very nice.
6:19 right now. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
Is he a 13-year-old superhero? Well, maybe. We're going to hear from a teen who was struck by lightning and lived to tell his story. Plus, Marla?
Manatee and Sarasota County school districts, along with a long list of nonprofit organizations, are making sure no child goes hungry on the weekends throughout the school year. We're telling you how, coming up at 6:30.
6:19 right now. We've come back with more news, including free medical school for some students in New York City. An amazing story. Should see a high of 91 degrees today. Chance of rain. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
According to a new survey by U.S. News and World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality, we just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
Welcome back. It is 6:22 right now. Pretty picture there of New York City, a live shot as you see Manhattan as dawn breaks in our nation's biggest city. As we wipe now to a shot of the Rosemary District where you might be living closer to.
We think you're a little closer at that this morning. Another beautiful shot as dawn is getting ready to break here. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast. Moving on, in consumer news, the FDA has approved the first generic version of the EpiPen. Now, that approval is part of the FDA's commitment to making sure that there are some low-cost generic alternatives to popular products. So now patients with severe allergies finally have a low-cost option. And yes, it is safe for both adults and children.
An amazing story here. The cost of medical school, of course, is very expensive, but some med students in New York City will be going for free. New York University is giving all med students scholarships that cover the cost of tuition, $55,000 a year. The school doesn't want cost to deter people from pursuing careers in medicine. The average debt that doctors owe for their med school is $191,000.
Wow.
So they'll still cover other costs, like they'll have to pay for housing and books. That totals about $27,000 a year. I did some more research, though. Only 6% of applicants get into that NYU med school.
Really? But now they're going to have their tuition paid for.
I want to find out who's going to absorb that cost. Is
Yeah.
it taxpayers or donors?
Yeah, where is that money coming from? But that's a great program, though. Imagine the people that would be able to go there now, or wouldn't be
Yes.
able to go in there because it costs too much.
My brother Rich would have enjoyed that. He's a doctor now, 30 years later, but very expensive to go to medical school, yeah.
Wow, speaking of medical things, a 13-year-old boy from Arizona says he feels like a superhero, cheating death after being hit by a bolt of lightning. No word yet on any additional superpowers, though.
ABC's Candace Gibson has this amazing story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, watch as Josiah Weidman cheats death.
I'm gonna try to live my life a bit more because I know that it can end at any time now.
The 13-year-old thankful after this electrifying close call when he and his friend Javier were struck by lightning walking through this Arizona park.
As we were walking, I got struck, sending me 9 feet up into the air, making me bounce on my head and then flip over to my back.
I couldn't believe it. My son should have been dead on the spot.
The jolt of lightning launching Josiah in the air, leaving him with a skull fracture and concussion. The last thing he remembers?
All I remember was just like a little bit of heat, like kind of walking, like barely, and then just heat.
And we'll have more on this incredible survival story coming up at 7 o'clock. With your GMA First Look, I'm Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
Needles, essential for the cactus, but maybe not for people with rheumatoid arthritis. Because there are options, like an unjection. Xeljanz XR, a once-daily pill for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well enough. Xeljanz XR can reduce pain, swelling, and further joint damage even without methotrexate. Xeljanz XR can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, and other cancers have happened. Don't start Xeljanz XR if you have an infection, tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz XR and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you are in a region where fungal infections are common, and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Needles. Fine for some things, but for you, 1 pill a day may provide symptom relief. Ask your doctor about Xeljanz XR, an injection.
Until recently, getting older meant losing your energy, memory, sex drive, even gaining weight, but it doesn't have to.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jenny Wilkins, owner of Age Vital Pharmacy Research and Wellness. Reversing or slowing the effects of aging can be as simple as supplementing vitamins, minerals, and hormones that your body needs in order to look and feel young again. At Age Vital, we do this without taking harmful prescription drugs that often have a longer list of side effects than benefits. Growing older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Age well, Age Vital.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
How do you open tough jar lids? Do you try this one? Or this one? Or how about this one?
Honey?
This is the future. Shouldn't there be a robot for this by now? There is. Introducing RoboTwist, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids. Just set it down, press the button, and watch it work. First, the RoboStrong vise locks down tight. Then the powerful twisting action unscrews the lid. RoboTwist is yours for the special introductory price of just $19.99. That's right, the robotic jar opener that easily twists off even the toughest lids, all for just $19.99. Whether the jar is big or small, RoboTwist can open them all. Supplies are limited, so don't delay. Here's how to get yours today.
Call 1-800-347-1073. That's 1-800-347-1073. Or order online at buyrobotwist.com.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new 2018 Jeep Wranglers. Or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Red tide not just affecting humans. We'll tell you about the wide range of sea life that have died as a result of red tide.
And with the first week of school almost in the books, there are still plenty of students who can't afford school supplies. We're going to tell you how you can help.
And we'll tell you about a program in Manatee County that starts today where needy students will get a backpack full of food for the weekend. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now.
And good morning to you. It is 6:30 on this Friday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi has details of your weekend forecast now. Good morning, kind sir.
Good morning. Kind of humid this morning. We're starting off with temperatures that are about where they were yesterday, maybe a degree or two warmer, but the humidity's a little higher and it feels such. But we don't have much in the way of any kind of rainfall chance this morning, so your area roadways are going to be dry or at least rain-free. Now, you could get some condensation on some of those roads before dawn breaks that could lead to some slippery surfaces, so watch for that. Otherwise, temperatures running about mid-70s in inland areas, upper 70s close to the coast with a daytime high today topping out similar to yesterday in the low 90s. You'll have a 30% chance of rain showers, a little bit higher rain chance as you head further inland along the interstate corridor. We'll have the complete forecast for a drier weekend, I think, coming up in just a few.
Very good. Talk to you soon, John. There's the roads right now. 301, some congestion, particularly northbound from University all the way up towards 70. Be aware of that. Could take 41 this morning or 75. Let's check farther south. Now here's the northern half of Sarasota County. You'll notice on Fruitville Road eastbound there at Beneva. Also Bee Ridge Road westbound at Tuttle. A little blip there down to Clark, or actually it's called Stickney Point there in 41 as you head southbound. And as we continue to track the traffic in the southbound area, this is the scene in South County. 41 southbound. As you get through Warm Mineral Springs around the Northport area, you might experience some congestion right there at this point.
Well, there's new information this morning on the number of dead sea life on the Suncoast, presumed to be because of the red tide outbreak. Mote marine scientists tell us they've answered more than 150 phone calls regarding distressed sea turtles in the area, most of them dead. And in 6 days, they've taken in 12 dead dolphins. Now, those numbers are just in this area. The Florida Fish and Wildlife says they've taken in 3 more dolphins into their Southwest Field Lab, just to the south of us. They say they're also getting upwards of about 20 phone calls every day regarding all those distressed sea animals.
Fishermen are doing their best to stay offshore to avoid the effects of red tide closer to the coastline. To get away from the big smelly mess, fishermen in Cortez have been going anywhere from 7 to 20 miles offshore to get their jobs done. Many say even though this is the worst red tide they've seen in years, there's still a lot of great fish to catch way offshore, including grouper, snapper, and other types of fish. But make no mistake, business for a lot of these fishermen is down about 30%.
You can see the little bit of the disclarity of the iced tea looking water, and once we get out further than that, we got pure pristine blue waters. It's just like nothing's ever going on at all.
Fishermen will adapt just like the fish are. The fish are on the run. They've moved to the areas where the red tide isn't at, you know, so you've just got to adapt like anything and, you know, find where they're at and go get them.
There you go. Many of the fishermen say despite this red tide, the fish they are catching are very safe to eat.
All right, check this out. Aerial view of the red tide near Venice Beach in Casey Key. Now you're going to be able to see it in just a moment. You can see it still lingering there a little bit. So far, Sarasota County has removed more than 127 tons of dead fish from public beaches and boat ramps in the area. Now, for all of our latest coverage on the red tide outbreak and to get some answers to your most asked questions, just head online to mysuncoast.com.
In this hour's Health Smart, just what causes autism? Well, doctors wish they had a clear answer. But as reporter Arlette Sines tells us, there might be a new clue in pesticides.
A pesticide's job is to kill bugs. Now, a new study from Columbia University Medical Center published in the American Journal of Psychiatry says that higher blood levels of some chemicals from long-banished pesticides in a mom's blood may be associated with autism in children. The Environmental Protection Agency phased out these specific pesticides like DDT years ago, but small amounts still linger in the soil. Moms with high levels of pesticide DDE had a 32% higher chance of having children on the autism spectrum. The point here isn't to scare moms. There is no way to monitor how much of these chemicals may be in your blood or where it comes from. This study doesn't suggest these pesticide residues from long ago cause autism, just that they might be connected to it. The hope is that this study contributes to the understanding of autism, a piece in the puzzle, and every bit of information helps. With this Medical Minute, I'm Arlette Sines, ABC News.
Well, back here on the Suncoast, the first full week of school is almost over, and some students will be heading home with a little something extra today.
Students without enough food at home will get a backpack full of food to last through the weekend. Marla Spence has details of this program live in Manatee County. Marla?
Hey, good morning, guys. We're told students who participated in summer feeding programs will be taking those backpacks with food home today. Now, this is a way to make sure no child is hungry over the weekends throughout the school year. We're told many kids in both counties sometimes get their only meals at school. We're also told Manatee County School District partners with several local nonprofits, while Sarasota County partners with All Faiths Food Bank. Now, both counties are not only responsible for providing food during the school year with backpacks, but also partners with all food banks. They're also responsible for providing food during the summer. Now, we're told that the summer feeding program in Manatee County served food at 59 sites and fed 200,000 meals to students this summer. As for All Faiths Food Bank, a spokesperson tells me that they are still tallying how many students were fed in not only Sarasota County, but also DeSoto County. We spoke to the director of food and nutrition for Manatee County Schools. She tells us why sending students home with backpacks of food are so important.
A lot of hungry kids come back to school. That's true throughout the school year, especially on Mondays, where students may not have food available to them over the weekend.
And many of those students will be going home with those backpacks throughout this school year each Friday. And we're also told that this will be happening up until next summer hits and when those summer feeding programs roll back around. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. Happening tomorrow, the Family Network on Disabilities Minnesota will host a Sort and Pack Volunteer Day to help kids in need this school year. You can stop by The Haven on DeSoto Road in Sarasota to help pack school supplies. The event begins tomorrow at 9 a.m.
And also in Manatee County, the school district there is certifying more guardians to patrol schools. More than 80% of these guardians are retired from a career either in the military or law enforcement. Now, that experience was why the district was confident that these guardians could get through training in just under a month.
They are here, they are trained, well trained, and they are there to protect our children. And that is very serious to them, and I know that they will do an outstanding job.
Now, eventually, all of Manatee County schools will have a guardian on campus. The next round of guardians will start their training with the county next Monday and could be set in schools by October.
We have an update now on Manatee County's purchase of the premier sports campus in Lakewood Ranch. It cost about $5 million. And as our Adam Shalini tells us, tourism officials say there's a little risk with this big investment.
This multi-million-dollar soccer haven in Lakewood Ranch just got pricier. Now that Manatee County tourism officials want to double the size of a new meeting center on the north end of the premier sports campus.
When we purchased it, we knew that we needed a building for sure, but weren't sure the size of the amenities.
Sean Walter, director of sports at the Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, says estimates grew from $800,000 to $1.3 million after talking to top clients like U.S. Soccer, who were spending hundreds of thousands on tents to escape the Florida sun.
We knew that In order to draw more business and enhance what we do, we needed extra facilities out here in infrastructure.
The new building provides indoor space for meetings, restrooms, concessions, but most importantly, medical attention.
If someone got hurt and they want to bring them the air conditioning, whether heat exhaustion or just need to get them out of the sun, we now have a medical room that can provide that.
The Bureau will ask the county to use tourist development tax revenue to cover the added cost. The same money tapped for daily red tide cleanup on public beaches, which locals say is paying off.
We're not really having any problems with any bad smells. Hats off to the county. They've been working very, very hard to keep our beaches very clean.
And Walter says he'll work hard to replace those dollars.
The more facilities and infrastructure we have, we can leverage more business and fill those hotels. Filling those hotels is what provides the TDT money or the tax money. So it's a win-win for everybody.
In Lakewood Ranch, Adam Cellini, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Happening later today, Senator Bernie Sanders is headed to Tampa to campaign for Andrew Gillum. Now, Gillum, of course, is the mayor of Tallahassee and is running for the Democratic nomination for Florida governor. Sanders and Gillum are holding a rally at around 11 o'clock this morning at Armature Works in downtown Tampa. Then they're going to head to Orlando for another rally.
Happening right now, early voting underway in parts of Florida for the upcoming primary. 18 counties have begun casting ballots, and tomorrow early voting starts here in Sarasota and Manatee counties. New figures from the state show there are more than 600,000 additional people registered to vote this year than during the 2016 election cycle.
Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast.
The Vatican now has a response to that sex abuse report released by a Pennsylvania grand jury. We'll hear what the Pope had to say.
But first, let's take a quick look outside. Dawn is breaking. A gorgeous shot out there this morning. Pretty typical August day on tap. Little rain, little sun, right, John Scalzi?
Little haze out there this morning as well. We're watching lots of moisture around. Recent rains have aided the fire danger index in our area, reducing several counties now to low category. Still, Sarasota and Manatee County are in the moderate risk for fire danger today. Air quality is good. Recent rain showers scouring the air, bringing our particulate count to 33, which is excellent. So the air quality is just fine. Beach forecast for this evening. If you're going to take a walk out there at the beach, 3 beach balls out of 4. We should have an isolated storm around, but most areas will have just a little bit of residual cloud cover. Complete forecast coming up in a minute.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid, your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Until recently, getting older meant losing your energy, memory, sex drive, even gaining weight, but it doesn't have to.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jenny Wilkins, owner of Age Vital Pharmacy Research and Wellness. Reversing or slowing the effects of aging can be as simple as supplementing vitamins, minerals, and hormones that your body needs in order to look and feel young again. At Age Vital, we do this without taking harmful prescription drugs that often have a longer list of side effects than benefits. Growing older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Age well, Age Vital.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
With dawn breaking on the Suncoast, we're seeing a very pretty start to the day, but a little bit on the humid side, 74-degree dew point. We have a temperature coming in at 76 and a mostly clear sky out there. As we progress through the morning, we'll have very little chance of rainfall until we get to the afternoon when our rain chance spikes up to about 30%. That 30% rain chance holds into the evening hours, and then as the heating of the day goes away, the sea breeze collapses. We'll start to watch those showers dissipate. Inland, you'll have a much better chance of seeing rainfall this afternoon along the corridor of the interstate, and inland from that, we'll look at about a 50 to 60% chance of rainfall. So tide and radar pretty quiet right now. We're seeing some scattered showers out here in Gulf waters, kind of similar to what we've seen over the last several days. Don't have any rain showers in progress or thunderstorms across our region, and all our area roadways are looking pretty good. High pressure, the dominant weather feature in the Atlantic. A little trough of low pressure on the east coast, and a general southeasterly wind flow continuing that collides with our west coast sea breeze that builds today. Also helps push the east coast sea breeze across the peninsula into our neck of the woods. And where the two meet, the collision occurs. This trough of low pressure eventually just washes away. It kind of chips in a little at the high pressure ridge, but doesn't do a whole lot. Might help bring a few more showers to the east coast today and tomorrow, but other than that, its influence on us is minimal. We'll have that east wind continuing for today, for tomorrow, for the day after. Looks like right straight through into the beginning of next work week. Fewer weekend showers, though, at least on Saturday, as some drier air tries to work its way in. Futurecast shows the showers that are around today are, generally speaking, forming along that sea breeze front in inland areas. You'll have a few out in Gulf waters, but it's mostly over land where the inland sea breezes collide that we'll see the showers develop. The general trend will be for a motion off to the north or maybe to the northwest, and that will give a slight chance at seeing some of those showers build or move toward the Gulf waters. But for the most part, this is an inland event, just as it has been over the last several days. So Ernesto briefly has made the transition to a pure tropical system. The upper level low is dissipated. The showers and thunderstorms are clustering around the center of low level circulation. It's a warm core system. So all of that accounts for the fact that it's been reclassified as tropical storm Ernesto as opposed to subtropical storm Ernesto. It still has very little effect on anyone except the fish out there in the waters, except eventually, as it continues over the cooler waters and rapidly decreases in intensity, it loses its tropical characteristics, becomes more of just like a regular storm that you'd find in the wintertime, and it heads toward Ireland, where they could get some gusty winds as well as some pretty good downpours of rain. Other than that, this tropical system is one for the books. We continue to watch this cluster of storms moving into the Caribbean. There's a potential here for some development, but it's minor. I tell you what, you got a lot of dry air down here. You got some stiff upper level winds. You have hostile weather conditions in the Caribbean, and water temperatures are just marginal for development. So all in all, over a 5-day period, 20% might even be generous for any kind of formation here. Oh, plus you've got the land to deal with too as the system moves to the west. So good news there. Southeast wind coming in at about 10 knots for us, 2-foot seas, light chop, and the forecast looks like this. Daytime high about 91 today, about the same tomorrow, maybe a little warmer because we'll have less rainfall tomorrow as the dry air moves in. Moisture returns on Sunday and through the beginning of next work week. Wind shift on Tuesday, changing the timing of the storms to morning showers followed by near the coast, followed by afternoon showers inland. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's take another check outside on your morning commute again. Starting to see a couple more delays in the area. 41 starting to get a little bit backed up there southbound, as you can see kind of right in the middle of your screen there. 301 State Road 70, a few delays in that spot as well. Then in the top of Sarasota County, not too bad so far. University Parkway and Fruitville, couple delays here and there coming off of 75, but nothing to really worry about. If you're headed farther south, 75, 41, both of those are still running pretty smooth at this hour. It is 6:48. That's your first alert traffic.
The Vatican has issued a response about the Pennsylvania grand jury report that detailed decades of sexual abuse by priests and subsequent cover-ups. Pope Francis has called the accusations criminally and morally reprehensible. Here is part of the statement that was released. The Pope understands how much these crimes can shake the faith and the spirit of the people in the pews. The Pope wants victims to know that he is on their side. He wants to listen to them so that this tragic horror will not be repeated.
Well, new details in the case of that missing pregnant Colorado woman and her 2 daughters. Her husband, Chris Watts, confessed to killing his pregnant wife and 2 little girls after days of begging for their safe return on camera with local news outlets. Now, he was in court yesterday, given no bail, so far charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder as well as tampering with physical evidence. As for his wife and daughters,
at this point, we have been able to recover a body that we're quite certain is Shanann Watts' body. We have strong reason to believe that we know where the bodies of the children are, and recovery efforts are in process on that.
now, formal charges are expected to be filed on Monday. Right now, though, the investigation begins into just why it happened and the timeline for those alleged murders.
It's like a bad movie that's real.
It really is, and now they're trying to figure out, because the wife was gone on a business trip, they're not exactly sure when the little girls, all of that happened to them, too. Like, it's just an awful story. And so many people are like, what? How did this happen?
A lot of talk about this story,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah.
Still had your top 7 headlines before 7 a.m.
That includes a look at your weekend forecast. And I'm going to tell you about the strangest job that you can have at NASA. It involves your nose.
6:50 right now. Here's a peek outside our studios. Pretty pastel sunrise in progress. Top headlines straight ahead.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Clogged pores are disgusting. Introducing DermaSuction, the easy way to suck that yuck out of your pores. DermaSuction removes blackheads and dirt from your pores. Just look at everything it extracts. The secret's the gentle vacuum action. Watch as DermaSuction extracts so much yuck, leaving your skin feeling clean and youthful.
The gunk that had been pulled out, I was pretty horrified, but better in the DermaSuction than on my face.
It's almost addictive because you can see all this stuff coming out of your skin that you don't even really know is there.
Call now to order your DermaSuction for just $19.99. We'll also include our small and large body probes, the Sonic Microdermabrasion probe, and the handy travel case, all absolutely free. Order now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. You can get all this, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-213-9301. That's 1-800-213-9301. Or visit dermasuction.com. So call 1-800-213-9301 now.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
It is 6:53, and here's your top 7 before 7.
First off, John Scalzi's first alert weather forecast.
Absolutely beautiful dawn on the Suncoast. Nothing in the way of any kind of rain showers to worry about. What to grab today? Sunglasses in your first alert app, because there will be showers around, but they'll be kind of a scattered shower, so you can trace them out with the first alert app. Sunny and warm afternoon showers building inland. Back to you guys.
Number 2, traffic. No major delays right now. Here's the scene, though, around the downtown Bradenton area. Some slowdowns there around the downtown core. Otherwise, should be a smooth sail on this Friday morning.
And number 3, as the first week of school wraps up, students in need will be headed home with special backpacks today to make sure they have enough food for the weekend.
Number 4, tomorrow you can help kids in need by volunteering at Sort and Pack Day. It helps underprivileged kids in the area get all the school supplies they need. It's taking place tomorrow morning at the Haven near University Parkway in Sarasota County at 9 a.m.
And number 5, Ed Smith Stadium is hosting Paws at the Park tomorrow. You can bring your pets to the stadium. It kicks off at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Number 6, Florida will begin reimbursing drivers who were charged bank fees after a major accounting malfunction earlier this year with SunPass. FDOT says starting today, customers can ask for reimbursement for any penalties they may have incurred.
And number 7, what's trending? Possibly the strangest job I've ever heard of at NASA. They actually have an employee, this guy right here, whose job it is to sniff test everything that astronauts take into space. George Aldrich, he started his career sniffing space-bound stuff way back in 1974. Since then, he says he's had to take a smell of over 800 different objects. He's looking for like toxic or offensive smells that could make the astronauts sick in space and at the space station because it could cut down on their productivity since, you can't really open the windows and air the place out.
It's a full-time.
It's a full-time job. That's all he does. And his employees have given him the best nicknames: Nostradamus, NASA Nose, and my personal favorite, Nasal Knot. Isn't that great? A nasal knot at NASA. He sniffs everything.
So what's the job description? Canary in the cage? Is that
you just smell everything. It's like, oh, that's good. That can go.
Wow.
Yes, someone gets paid for that.
Wow.
There's hope for me after all.
Have a great weekend. Here's a pretty heavenly shot from our tower cam as we leave you on this Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday on Good Morning Suncoast.